Hey yoga teachers, Wren here, and in today's video I will walk you through two scenarios for pricing a specialty yoga class series. Particularly for today, we're looking at prenatal yoga. These are two teacher students of mine that I was helping with pricing their offering. And one is in a small-ish town in Arkansas, and the other is in a small town. So maybe the first one is like 25,000 population, the second one being more like 8, 9, 10,000, something like that. If you want data on your city, you can go to USA.com. It used to be citydata.com. USA.com will give you the population, the median income. If you don't know what median is, that just means half the population is above that income and half is below, and a lot of other good information about the population in your area that you may not know. So for the first one, we were looking at a 4 or 6 session series for prenatal yoga in a small-ish town. The best option we could find for comparing like a drop-in rate for a normal class, which I recommend you doing, in that area was around $15 for a regular class. And since this is a specialty class, we would make the drop-in higher. For a 4-week series for an hour and 15-minute class, the drop-in rate we came up with was $25. So that's $10 more than the going rate for a drop-in in that area, but it's a specialty class. The series we came up with $75 for all 4 classes. So if you break that down, that's $18.75 per class compared to $25 per class if the student paid the drop-in for all 4 classes. So it's a $25 discount if they buy the package and they do all 4 classes. For 6 weeks, we kept it at the same drop-in, $25, but we did $110 for all 6 classes, which comes out to $18.33 per class, and it's a $40 discount if you buy the $110 package up front. That is, for 6 classes at $25 each, it would be $150, and this package is being offered for $110, $40 discount, and that's a great way to have a conversation with students about it. There are a lot of benefits of having a group that sticks with you the whole time. So we'll talk about that maybe in a separate video. The smaller town in Arkansas that my other student lived in, 8, 9, 10,000 population, the drop-in there was anywhere from $8 to $15 or $20, but the $20 was kind of an exception. It's a boutique sort of fitness studio in that town, and their drop-in rate was a little high, so we kind of based this on like an $8 to $12 drop-in that you would find for maybe a yoga class. So we decided on, this particular student was only looking at a 6-week series, so we decided on, for that smaller population, an $18 drop-in. So $18 for 6 classes would be $108 if they paid per class, by the class, one at a time. If they paid up front for the whole series, we decided on $75. That's $12.50 per class, which is more than the usual $8 drop-in that area. But if they buy the package, it's a $33 discount to paying an $18 fee for each one of the 6 classes. So 6 sessions, $75, $33 discount off paying as you go. And that is how we looked at those. So then we go back and think about rent for those locations. So in the first location, the classes would be offered at a wellness center. It's not a yoga studio, so the analysis there on how you approach rent is a little bit different. So for that one, and remember, we're back on $75 for 4 classes or $110 for 6 classes. So then the teacher has to consider how many students will fit in that space. I think for this particular space, we decided on 10 would be ideal. You could probably fit 12. You could fit more, but for prenatal yoga, 10 would be ideal. And for that particular location, we talked about approaching the owner with a flat rate per class. It was maybe $10 per class. And so this particular student worked that out with that space. So if she's doing 4 weeks, that's $40. If she's doing 6 weeks, that's $60. and then you can do the math from there on what her overhead is for just the space. And you also have to consider marketing and things like that. For the smaller town, this package was being offered at a yoga studio that's fairly new, and this student and teacher was fairly new to teaching yoga, but she has some expertise around women's health with some medical experience. So we would look at that like most yoga studios will do some kind of percentage, or they'll want to do some sort of percentage. It's usually going to be 25% to 40%. So if it's a $100 class, let's say it's a $100 package, then you would be paying $25 per student, $25 per student, up to $40 per student. So you'll find 25%, 30%, 40%. So that's 25-75 split, 30-70 split, or 40-60 split, the higher amount going to the teacher. So if you're doing a 70-30, that's 70% to you. You pay the venue 30% of your gross. Now, a way to look at that in negotiating that is you can maybe use as leverage if someone at that studio wants to take the class, like maybe a teacher, then you might be able to do a little bit of a trade there. Also, you want to consider what all is the studio including. Are they doing marketing for you? Are they on MindBody? Do they do their own marketing? Do they expect you to do all the marketing? So the more you're expected to do on your own, the less of a percentage you should be paying. The more they're doing, then the more they're going to want for their efforts. So let's say it's a studio that pays for ads, maybe they pay for Facebook ads, they have a really good social media presence, and or they really are good at marketing and getting their students in to specialty offerings. Then as a yoga teacher, you might be willing to pay them more, maybe 40%, maybe 30, maybe 35. But if you're an established teacher and you have your own following and you already have a lot of people interested, and you're going to be doing a lot of your own marketing or paying for some marketing, then that can give you leverage to pay the studio a lower percentage because you'll be doing the work. And usually you can work it out with studio owners to fall somewhere in between. I've paid as little as 10% with some trades and up to as much as 40% depending on what benefit there was to me of doing it. I hope this has been helpful for you today. Stay tuned for more videos on breaking this down even more, and whatever your burning questions are, feel free to pop them in the comments or shoot me a DM at Rena on Instagram, at Rena Official on Facebook. Have a great day. Stay well, be well, and I'll see you next time.